Hello and welcome to Science Monitor, a show that brings to you the most significant news from the world of science, technology, innovation, research, discoveries and much more. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor and here are this week's headlines. Scientists at National Institute of Occupational Health, Ahmedabad, have identified a unique biomarker for effective and early detection of silicosis. National Research Development Corporation calls for proposals to help transfer latest innovations and technologies from laboratories to the market for public use. Scientists at Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Mohali, develop eco-friendly firecrackers to reduce air pollution during festive seasons. On the occasion of the 4th International Day of Yoga, Vigyan Prasar releases the upgraded version of the app celebrating yoga. Our top story this week. Silicosis is a lung disease. It is caused by extensive exposure and inhalation of silica. Now, people working in the quarrying, manufacturing and building construction industries are prone to develop silicosis. Unfortunately, silicosis is incurable with no specific treatment available so far. But early detection of silicosis can help medical practitioners put in place medical protocols for effective management. Scientists at the National Institute of Occupational Health, Ahmedabad, have identified a unique biomarker, a naturally occurring molecule by which the disease can be identified. This biomarker has been found to be effective and helpful in the early detection of silicosis. Our Science Monitor team brings you this report.
India has a large mining industry. Most of the mines are situated in the states of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha and West Bengal. According to a report published by the Indian Council of Medical Research, around 3 million workers are at high risk of exposure to silica, the main constituent of more than 90% of the known rocks. It has been observed that more than 50% workers in the mining or quarrying activities are at risk of silica exposure. Continuous and chronic exposure to silica dust causes silicosis. Silicosis is an irreversible disease condition. Symptoms of silicosis can appear within a few weeks to many years after exposure to silica dust. Symptoms worsen over time as scarring in the lungs occurs. Cough is an early symptom and develops over time with exposure to silica on being inhaled. At present, the International Labour Organization or ILO prescribes conventional X-rays, occupational exposure history and the standard lung function test to confirm silicosis. Unfortunately, these tests confirm the disease only when patients are nearing the terminal stage. The main challenge of eliminating silicosis in India is appropriate diagnosis and the need for qualified and trained radiologists who can read X-rays carefully. Continued exposure to affected populations to silica dust makes it difficult for physicians to manage the disease. Furthermore, most primary care physicians in India are not trained to manage occupational health diseases.
We found a number of biomarkers were experimented in our country and outside country, but none of them are very specific except one, that is CC16 protein, but which was not tested or not investigated in our country or even in the Southeast Asian countries. Nobody has done it. Now, if we use this CC16 protein as a public health biomarker or early biomarker for detection of silicosis, it will definitely help those persons to develop full-blown silicosis. For them, there is no treatment, no cure, nothing.
Patients with silicosis have an increased risk of other problems such as tuberculosis, lung cancer and chronic bronchitis. Silicosis patients may also go undiagnosed because the symptoms are common to tuberculosis. Interpretation of the chest X-ray films of patients with silicosis is sometimes difficult due to false identification of the silicotic nodules as tuberculosis infiltrations. Despite all these diagnostic procedures, no procedure is able to detect silicosis at the early stage. However, Dr. Kamlesh Sarkar, Director, NIOH Ahmedabad and his team have focused their research on searching for a potential biomarker for silicosis. The search ended after they found the club protein CC16 in the blood, which is usually present in the cells of the tiny air sacs of lungs. When silica particles enter the lungs, they damage lung cells, which ultimately secrete this club cell protein into the blood. Monitoring the levels of CC16 can provide early signs of silicosis, and therefore immediate management of the disease can then be possible for the affected workers. Early rehabilitation of silicosis patients would prevent them from getting infected by tuberculosis. The identified biomarker CC16 can be the basis for revising the present government policy on confirming silicosis, as well as devising a health plan for such patients. The efforts made by Dr. Kamlesh Sarkar, Director NIOH Ahmedabad, and his team are commendable. The discovery of CC16 biomarker will go a long way in detection and appropriate management of silicosis, and thereby protecting precious lives of workers in the mine industry.
India has been a pioneer in the field of science and technology since independence. Scientists and researchers have developed many products for the benefit of society, but once these innovations are successful, they need to be transferred from the laboratories to the public domain, where they can be manufactured at a larger scale and put to use. The National Research Development Corporation, or NRDC, which helps scientists and researchers commercialize these technologies, is currently inviting proposals to support innovators to further develop and market their technologies. Science Monitor brings you a report.
Today, India is one of the leading countries in the world of science and technology for its groundbreaking discoveries and out-of-the-box innovations. Scientists and researchers across the country are developing astonishing technologies for the benefit of the society. But once the scientists successfully test these innovations, they need to be transferred from the laboratories to the public for their benefit. To resolve this gap, National Research Development Corporation, or NRDC, helps scientists and researchers commercialize their technologies and make it available to the masses. The Government of India, with the primary objective to promote, develop, and commercialize technologies, inventions, patents, and processes originating from various national research and development institutions, established NRDC in 1953. Some of the breakthrough technologies licensed by NRDC in the past include baby food, blood bags, and artificial heart valves, to name a few. One of the most significant technologies transferred was indelible ink. It is popularly known as voters' ink, used to mark the voter's finger during elections to avoid fake multiple voting and malpractices. NRDC is presently working under the administrative control of the Department of Science and Industrial Research, Ministry of Science and Technology. It has licensed indigenous technologies to more than 4,800 entrepreneurs and helped to establish a large number of small and medium-scale industries. One of the most recent technology transferred to the market is the super absorbent hydrogel. The water absorbent hydrogel helps to improve the moisture absorption and retention capacity of the soil even at lower concentrations, and thus also helps in water conservation.
We advertise many times. These are the innovative technologies available with NRDC. And many entrepreneurs also, they also come to know about the technologies when they go to these laboratories, when they visit our website, see our advertisements. They write to us saying that I am interested in this technology, can you please tell us how to go about it. So then we also discuss with the entrepreneur to understand his investment capacity, the domain experience. So based on that, we suggest, we have a number of technologies, whichever technology is relevant to your interest and your domain expertise, you can pick up.
In the last 4 years, NRDC has signed 118 agreements with research and development laboratories and institutions such as CSIR, DRDO, and IITs. They have acquired 345 new technologies from these laboratories and licensed 156 technologies to entrepreneurs, startups, and micro, small, and medium enterprises. Any innovator can approach NRDC to further enhance and seek R&D and financial help to make their product commercially available. Innovators who have a successfully tested product can approach NRDC with a proposal. For further information, the applicant can visit www.nrdcindia.com. Besides being the torchbearer in the field of technology transfer, NRDC also undertakes number of activities under its structured promotional program, such as promotion of inventions and innovations, technological and commercial support, technical and financial assistance for intellectual property rights, and support for further development of technologies. NRDC's objective to promote, develop, nurture and commercialize innovative, reliable and competitive technologies from R&D institutes through value addition and partnership has helped many innovations to move out of the laboratories and reach the public for their benefits.
It's time for a short break, but when we return, we will take you to Aishwarya, Mohali, where scientists have developed an environment-friendly firecracker. So keep watching Science Monitor.
Today, the availability of the train tracks for inspection has reduced significantly because more trains are running, and so less time for you to inspect. All these components are made of materials that are very fatigue resistant. You certainly cannot make them ideal. So the question is, how can I make this safer and how can I make this more productive? So we actually do X-rays or ultrasound at the stage of production to make sure there are no defects in these components. So we have developed a prototype system and delivered to the Southern Railways, which they then continue to use it for quite some time.
Watch Eureka with Professor K. Balasubramanian, Head of Center for Non-Destructive Evaluation at IIT Madras, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Whether it is a festival or a victory at a cricket match, we celebrate the moment with firecrackers. But these firecrackers deteriorate ambient air quality by releasing suspended particulate matter, metal oxides, along with carbon particles, toxic gases and debris, thereby increasing the level of pollution. To address this issue, a team of scientists from the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, or Aishwarya, Mohali, have developed eco-friendly firecrackers. These do not produce any toxic chemicals and the gases upon explosion and are thereby not a health hazard. Here is a report.
Since the early years, we have been fascinated and surprised by fireworks. The biggest impact that these fireworks have on our society is the way we celebrate our festival or moment of joy. During special occasions, the firecrackers have been a key to part in bringing people across all ages together and enchanting them with stunning display of light and sound. Today, it's difficult to think of celebrating an event without any fireworks. But unfortunately, these firecrackers also add to the growing menace of pollution in our environment. These traditional firecrackers release harmful elements in the air like suspended particulate matter, metal oxides, carbon particles and toxic gases, resulting in deteriorating the ambient air quality, increasing noise pollution and generation of solid waste. Last year, in October 2017, the Supreme Court had banned the sale of firecrackers in the National Capital Region due to the poor air quality, which forced authorities to declare public health emergency. This year, on 16th January, Union Minister for Science and Technology, Dr. Harshvardhan, urged the scientific community to develop environment-friendly firecrackers to control post-Diwali pollution. As a result, a team of scientists from the Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, or Aishwarya, Mohali, led by Dr. Samrat Ghosh, have come up with a prototype of eco-friendly firecrackers, which do not involve any toxic chemicals in its manufacturing process and does not release any harmful gases on explosion. Hence, it does not pose any health hazard or damage to the environment.
We have developed an all-weather, smoke and pollution-free, debris-less, affordable and safe firecracker. This is the first step towards making firecrackers which will be eco and environment friendly. Our prototype replaces this conventional firecrackers The problem with these firecrackers is that they generate a lot of smoke and debris, which makes it very difficult for the cleaner to clean. Our prototype also makes a similar sonic effect, but generates no smoke or pollution or paper waste like these firecrackers generate.
The Aishwarya Mohali prototype is made up of a plastic bottle which is loaded with combustible material. It is mounted on a handheld device which is basically an improvised gas lighter. When triggered, the lighter produces a spark and the gas is ignited. The heat generated from the combustion expands the gas inside the bottle, generating a pressure which propels the bottle out of the launcher, producing a dazzling orange light with a loud sound. Unlike traditional firecrackers, this prototype can also be fired when it is raining. These firecrackers can also be used in agriculture in safeguarding farming lands from birds and animals.
A lot of farmers suffer from damages to their crops from birds and other predators. Some farmers do use expensive sonic cannons. Common farmers, poor farmers cannot afford them. So our all-weather smoke and pollution-free firecracker is a cheaper alternative to the sonic cannon for safeguarding their agricultural lands.
The manufacturing process of these eco-friendly firecrackers are based on the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan initiative, which uses discarded plastic bottles for refilling the combustible material. As a result, it could play a big role in benefiting rag pickers and waste dealers. Also, the whole firecracker system has been specially designed to prevent any debris from flying around and littering the surroundings. According to the scientist, the cost of the launcher would not be more than 300 rupees and the cost of the refilled bottles would be around 12 rupees, making it a cheaper substitute to the existing traditional firecrackers. This innovative firecracker will soon be available in the markets for consumers to celebrate festivals and special occasions without polluting the environment.
Yoga offers solutions to many complex health problems that we face in our daily lives, be it stress, anxiety, joint pain, or even heart ailments. Recently, on the occasion of the 4th International Day of Yoga on 21st of June, Vigyan Prasar, an autonomous organization under the Department of Science and Technology, launched the new version of Celebrating Yoga mobile app. This upgraded version provides an easy step-by-step guide to perform different yogasanas along with the pranayam for a healthy life. Moreover, the app provides vast information on yoga, like its association with science, yogic diets, and yoga centers across the country. Here is a detailed report.
In the past few years, medical research has revealed a host of physical and mental benefits that yoga offers to the practitioners. As a result of many randomized trials, it has been observed that yoga is beneficial for physical fitness, musculoskeletal functioning, and cardiovascular health. It is also beneficial in the management of diabetes, respiratory disorders, hypertension, and other lifestyle-related issues. Yoga poses and practices helps in improving strength, stamina, flexibility, mental alertness, and hence contributes to an overall well-being of an individual. With this aim, on 21st of June 2018, the world joined hands to celebrate the 4th International Day of Yoga across the globe. To mark this occasion, several events were organized where yoga trainers performed series of yogasanas and pranayams to celebrate and spread awareness about its importance. But often the beginners find it difficult to emulate the postures demonstrated by trainers at public gatherings, making the practice of yoga a pretty daunting task for them. To address this issue, Vigyan Prasar along with Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, New Delhi, brought out Celebrating Yoga, a mobile app which provides an interactive platform to promote the practice of yoga to nurture a healthy, happy, and productive way of living across the people of all age groups.
Celebrating Yoga is an app which is basically for connecting people with health and life. This is an app which aims to promote the practices of yoga to nurture a healthy, happy, and lively population that benefits the society.
The app brings to your fingertips different traditions and methods of practicing yoga through yogasanas, pranayam, and meditation. It enlists the detail of asanas under several categories, like yoga for wellness, yoga for stress management, and even yoga for specific diseases. Through videos, the app demonstrates step-by-step method to perform asanas such as Surya Namaskar, which helps in strengthening heart, lungs and hands, promotes weight loss and boosts fitness and flexibility. The app also gives detail on the postures to be performed every day to overcome certain diseases like diabetes, asthma, sinus, back pain and hypertension.
We are here unique, and also we are providing a lot of information to the people regarding the certified yoga centers, yoga clinics, yoga instructors. And gradually we will be focusing more on the science and yoga part.
Celebrating Yoga includes Common Yoga Protocol or CYP, developed by Ministry of Ayush, which briefs about the general guidelines for doing yoga and specific sequence of asanas that can be performed by everyone. CYP contains videos in different languages like Marathi, Hindi, Tamil, Gujarati, Telugu, Assamese and Bengali to communicate with general public from all the states. Moreover, the app also provides diverse information on yoga through sections like Know More, which highlights the ongoing research work under Science and Technology of Yoga and Meditation or Satyam program. This abundance of information on yoga, available under a single platform, will be beneficial for all yoga enthusiasts, whether they are beginners or experts.
It's time for a short break, and when we come back, we'll bring you some more news on science and innovation from India and around the world. But that's after a short break, so keep watching Science Monitor.
Hello and welcome to Policy Watch. I am Vishal Dahiya, and this week we will take a look at two major issues. First is the repositioning of Northeastern Council.
When NEC was established, then it was a clear recognition that this particular region, it needs a separate agency to deal with the issues of development, which are interlinked with security issues as well.
If you see take a holistic view of the importance of the Northeastern Council as well as the Northeast, you cannot underestimate the economic potential and the benefits that this region and this council can actually help exploit.
Let's now take a look at the other issue, that's standardization of metro project.
There is need to economize on the cost, capital cost. There is need to reduce the operational cost, as well as there is need to make sure that we do not remain import dependent.
Standardization is a good idea where the external environment is by and large uniform. But I think in so many cities where metro network has to come, standards are important, norms are important.
Welcome back after the break, and let's now take a quick look at some more scientific innovations and developments from India and around the world.
NASA's International Space Station has deployed the first ever satellite to test possible solutions to clean space debris. The Britain-built satellite named Remove Debris is the world's first attempt to tackle the buildup of dangerous space debris orbiting the Earth. The 100 kg Remove Debris spacecraft will attempt to capture simulated space debris using a net and harpoon, while also testing advanced cameras and radar systems. The experiment is important as there are thousands of pieces of space debris circulating the planet, many traveling faster than a speeding bullet, posing a risk to valuable satellites. Scientists at the Molecular Biophysics Unit at Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru have discovered a new drug for treating tuberculosis or TB. Tranlucast, currently being used for treating asthma, has been found to be effective against TB. Scientists carried out tests in mice models and found out that the drug is effective in treating TB both when used alone and in combination with an anti-TB drug rifampicin. The study was published in the journal Embo Molecular Medicine. The Indian Space Research Organization is planning to host an educational program for engineering graduates chosen from other countries. The program is for 3 years. Beginning this year, 90 qualified engineers from various countries will be taught to build and test 3 small satellites each year. The training for overseas students will start by December this year. Scientists at the University of Michigan in the United States have developed the world's smallest computer. This is just 0.3 millimeter in length. In addition to the RAM and photovoltaics, the new microcomputing device, also called the Michigan Micromode, has processors and wireless transmitters and receivers. It can help in measuring temperature changes in extremely small areas. For example, to help spot the early growth of tumors, which are believed to have slightly higher temperatures than healthy tissue.
And in the history of science this week, we remember Jonas Salk. He was an American physician and medical researcher who developed the first safe and effective vaccine for polio. Jonas Salk was born on 28th of October 1914 in New York, and in 1942 at the University of Michigan School of Public Health, he became part of a group that was working to develop a vaccine against the flu. By 1951, Salk had determined that there were 3 distinct types of polioviruses, and he was able to develop a killed virus vaccine for the disease. The vaccine used polioviruses that had been grown in a laboratory and then destroyed. On 12th of April 1955, the vaccine was released for use in the United States of America. Salk launched his own research organization known as the Salk Center for Biological Studies in 1963. He died on 23rd of June 1995. Salk, even today, is amongst the most revered medical scientists of the country. Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. You can send your feedback and suggestions to Science Monitor on our email ID news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar, C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. We'll see you again next week with another episode of Science News and Innovations. Till then, goodbye and take care.